Alright, LeBron James definitely has plenty of natural talent, but did you know that it's not the only thing working for him? He's got a secret mindset that keeps him so successful and so him. Here's 10 secrets LeBron James doesn't want NBA fans to know. Keys to success. For almost 20 years, LeBron James has been living life under a microscope. Despite that constant pressure, the forward hasn't missed a beat. Throughout his career, James has demonstrated secrets to his success, being flexible and a team player. In his case, this has ended up meaning being on top of not only his role and the skills it requires, but also learning what the other players on his team need to do in order to be their best. And whether you love him or hate him, it's hard to deny his skills. He's found plenty of success both on and off the basketball court, and according to the forward, everything starts with one simple mindset. In a clip, More Than an Athlete, James shared his quote-unquote secret to success. While he's branched out beyond the basketball court during his career, he knows where his bread and butter is. Everything starts with his craft. Once that's in order, everything else can grow organically from there. Quote, "What allows us to be as powerful as we are too is because we keep the main thing the main thing. And that starts with me," he explained. Like, if I was a shit basketball player, none of this would be possible. You know, if I would have come into the league and was like, okay, yeah, I'm the number one pick, and we here now, give us it all, like, people would be like, get out of here. Like, I had to put work in, and I'm still putting in work, because that's just who I am. So, like, we kept the main thing the main thing. The main thing is basketball, and we never lost track of that. I never lost track of that. And one thing is taken care of, the sky's the limit. While most of us don't have the natural basketball talent of LeBron James, that's a lesson that we can all take to heart. Keep the main thing, whatever it may be, the main thing, and success will follow for granted. Football star? Not only did LeBron James dominate on the court, but he also dominated on the football field as well. He played 3 years of high school football and had received a lot of interest from the top programs, and if he didn't pursue a basketball career, he would have had a football career waiting for him. Although he didn't play his senior year due to the fact that he wanted to focus on basketball, in those 3 years of playing, James accomplished a lot. He finished with 99 receptions, 1,912 receiving yards, and 27 total touchdowns. His primary position was at receiver, but he did play one season as the quarterback. The Akron native was a two-time All-Ohio selection at wide receiver. And just like on the court, James was a playmaker on the field. Of course, that is his style. It's his personality. It's just who he is. He made phenomenal plays that kept his team in ball games and was always the most skilled player on the field. James had the height and size at receiver that made him a threat, and defensive backs had issues defending him. He doesn't let his kids play football. While we're on the topic of football, we need to talk about his attitude towards his kids playing it. What he has said in the past is, quote, "Only basketball, baseball, and soccer are allowed in my house." Now, he didn't say it explicitly, but the assumption might be the propensity for concussions, along with other brain injuries, that are unique to the game since there's no athletic activities that are entirely free from an injury risk. In this regard, the world's best basketball player sounds a little bit like the former smoker who is cautioning others against the habit, since the information about football's possible relationship to a poor life afterward wasn't widely available when James was his son's age, his oldest, LeBron Jr., and his youngest, Bryce Maximus, in the early 90s. At the risk of stating the obvious, that's strictly an analogy, not an equation. In short, it is hard to find much fault with James's statement, even before you wander into the human reality of the situation. Namely, that they're his kids and that he has the right to raise them where he sees fit, despite how the NFL and football's potential would perhaps wish that his entire public relationship with the game was of a devoted fan. Depressing childhood. While James has been dominating the basketball scene ever since he was in high school, his life really hasn't been much of a walk in the park. In fact, King James's childhood was tougher than you might have thought. In 2003, Lawrence Donegan chronicled James's rapid rise to fame for The Guardian. LeBron's mother, Gloria Glow James, gave birth to him when she was just 16 years old. His father, Anthony McClelland, was a, quote, casual boyfriend with an extensive criminal record. That left Gloria to fend for her young family on her own. LeBron bounced between houses, living in as many as 6 locations in a single year. He was absent from school more often than not, saying, quote, I saw drugs, guns, killings. It was crazy. One moment, however, would change everything. After learning about Gloria's situation, Frank Walker, LeBron's football coach, offered to give the boy home. Quote, my life changed. I had shelter and food, LeBron explained in that Guardian feature. I never forgot what the Walkers did for me, especially Frank. He doesn't get the recognition he deserves because he's real quiet, but he was one of the first ones to give me a basketball and the first one to show a real interest. Tried to declare for the NBA draft. After his 3rd season for St. Vincent St. Mary High School, James petitioned to enter the draft per Dwight Garner of the New York Times. However, the NBA told him that he had to graduate high school. Up until 2006, any player that graduated from high school could enter into the NBA draft. Players like Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, and even Amare Stoudemire had entered the draft without college or international experience. The rules were then changed in 2006, in which players now had to have at least 1 year of experience with either a college team or international team. Before we continue, if you love what we do, please go ahead and like this video as well as subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss another update from us. $90 million contracts with Nike in high school. LeBron James had practically become a millionaire overnight when he went from a high school basketball phenom to the #1 overall pick in the 2003 NBA draft. However, despite growing up in the projects in Akron, Ohio, James showed a business acumen beyond his years at an early age. Even though LeBron was technically not allowed to touch any money until graduation, he still signed a $90 million deal with Nike while still playing high school basketball. Nike rolled the dice early in LeBron's career, and it has more than paid off. James has since developed his brand into one of the strongest among professional athletes, a development that may have always been natural, judging by his situation at a young age. Never met his father. As we previously stated, James was born when his mother Gloria was in high school. Not much is known about his actual father, other than the fact that he was just not there for James growing up. While it's not confirmed, many believe James's father is a man named Anthony McClelland. The ex-con spent his life away from his superstar son. Gloria and James's father were never officially a couple, which would explain his absence. McClelland was convicted of arson and theft when James was just a kid. He was never there in person or even as a financial support. In fact, the Lakers star has openly never even met his biological father. McClelland reportedly wanted to be a part of James's life in 2002. This, of course, was when James began to hit the national spotlight because of his high school basketball career. But the athlete had declined. James grew up bitter about his father's absence. He had to guide himself through things and was angry that someone could stand by idly as their son and mother tried to make things work. Michael Jordan wanted him to attend private scrimmages. Michael Jordan was already scouting LeBron way beyond his junior year in high school. He already knew that James had talent, and Jordan wanted to work with him privately. The two had private scrimmages where no media, or any journalists for that matter, were allowed to attend the gym. Just the two of them and maybe a few of James's friends. The scrimmages came to an end when one of James's buddies reportedly prank called Jordan, which made the GOAT quite angry. 32. Initially, he wore number 32 in high school due to his second favorite player, Dr. J, wore it at first. Dr. J had called it quits when LeBron was 2 years old, so we always find it odd when someone's favorite player retires before they can read and write. But hey, at least the man gave credit to the legend. He also wore Jordan's number 23 before he dumped it and said he thought the entire NBA should retire the number. Number 6. It seems like the number 6 means a lot to him. After wearing the number 23 out of respect to his idol Michael Jordan before leaving to join the Miami Heat in 2010, LeBron chose to wear number 6 for a couple of reasons. And although there's random theories out there, LeBron said that he picked it because his first son was born on October 6th, it was already his Olympic number, and because his second was born in June. So, did you know any of these facts about LeBron James? Let us know in the comment section down below. And also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, plus hitting that post notification bell so you never miss another update from us. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.